Ever pondered why common sense isn't so common after all? Welcome to a journey of unraveling the psychology behind common sense, the seemingly simple concept that is often misunderstood and overlooked. Let's begin by asking ourselves, what is common sense? It's a term we often hear in our everyday conversations, an attribute we value in ourselves and others. Simply put, common sense is the ability to make sound and practical judgments on everyday matters. Sounds easy, right? Yet, it's surprising how often it's lacking in the most basic situations. Take, for instance, the story of a man who decided to fix his leaky roof in the middle of a rainstorm. Now, most of us would agree that it's common sense to wait until the rain stops before attempting such a task. Yet in his haste to solve the problem, he overlooked this simple fact and ended up creating a bigger mess. Or think about the person who, despite being late for a meeting, decides to take the scenic route instead of the quickest path, only to arrive even later. Again, common sense would dictate taking the fastest route when pressed for time. Yet this basic understanding sometimes eludes us in the heat of the moment. So what's the disconnect? Why do we sometimes fail to exercise common sense? The answer often lies in our emotions, biases, and stress levels, which can cloud our judgment and lead us to make less than optimal decisions. For instance, our emotions can often lead us astray. We may know it's not sensible to eat an entire tub of ice cream when we're feeling down, but our emotions may convince us that it's a good idea at the time. Similarly, our biases can blind us to the most logical course of action. We may stick with a failing plan simply because we're too invested in it, even when common sense tells us it's time to change course. On the other hand, stress can also play a significant role in our lack of common sense. When we're under pressure, our brains often switch to survival mode, bypassing our ability to think logically and rationally. This can lead to decisions that, in hindsight, seem to lack common sense. To summarize, common sense, while seemingly straightforward, is often more complex than we realize. It's influenced by a variety of factors, including our emotions, biases, and stress levels. The next time you find yourself in a situation where common sense seems to be lacking, take a moment to consider these influences. Are your emotions clouding your judgment? Are your biases leading you astray? Are you under stress and not thinking clearly? Remember, common sense isn't always as common as we'd like to believe, but with a little self-awareness and understanding, we can learn to navigate our lives with a bit more wisdom and a lot less regret. So go ahead, make common sense a common practice. The world certainly could use more of it.